Snow arriving tonight in parts of central Indiana. So some of us soon will see the weather impact. And gosh, with this cold, everybody will be able to feel it. So in those conditions, we know roads can get slick fast. And take a look here. State police posted these pictures from a big crash on the Indiana toll road. 9 semis involved, 4 cars, and 1 trooper's patrol car. Luckily, amazingly, nobody was hurt. Wow.
Yeah.
That is tough to see.
It is.
Oof. Good evening. I'm Jenny Runovich in tonight for Scott. So, Angela, that crash on the toll road, really a good reminder for all of us that things can change quickly.
Yes. Slow down, especially if you see any snow, even if it's not heavy, because the temperatures are so low. The cold air doing us a favor, keeping the heaviest snow south, but even a quick coating of snow with temperatures this low in the teens, that sticks and it immediately becomes snow-covered, slick, and icy. We are in the teens, currently 15 in Indianapolis, 16 degrees in Bloomington. We find the snow on live Doppler 13 radar now across the far southern part of the state. This is the winter storm we're tracking for tonight and tomorrow. The steadiest snow will stay along and south of the Ohio River. However, if you are south of I-70, coating to perhaps a couple of inches with the highest totals the farther south you go. We do expect this to fill in when you join Chuck at 4 a.m. on sunrise. He'll be tracking a few snow showers. We all get a snow chance tomorrow afternoon.
Angela, thank you. And remember, you can keep track of the incoming snow as well and this lingering cold with the WTHR weather app. It puts radar and hour-by-hour forecast and our weather blog right on your phone, so you can check in anytime. And of course, it is a free download in your phone's app store.
But we need information from others in the public, whether it be people who saw something, people who have video cameras that recorded the incident or saw the suspects leaving the scene.
Tonight, the search for answers after a deadly shooting on the northeast side of Indianapolis. 4 men hit by gunfire. One of them was killed. Our Logan Gay spent hours at the scene today. She talked with the family of one of the survivors. They are experiencing a flood of emotions tonight.
Family members of one of the gunshot victims tell me they're thankful their loved one is alive and is recovering, but they tell me things in that house will never be the same. According to police, 2 of the 4 men shot were found inside this home on the northeast side, and investigators believe 1 or more suspects ran from the scene. This woman, who asked to speak anonymously, says her great-uncle owns the home and is one of the people injured. She says the home is the gathering spot for family functions and has been in the family for more than 45 years.
It's sad to have somebody in that house laying on the floor, you know. Like I said, it'll never be the same.
Police are still investigating the motive behind the shooting, but she believes it was an attempted robbery.
I said it's a blessing my uncle's alive, because they came to take him out.
This woman is a close friend to the 69-year-old man. She lives a few houses away. She says she was making breakfast when she heard the shooting started.
All of a sudden, just mayhem. A bunch of gunfire.
The bullets going through her home, whizzing by her and her family inside.
You get on the floor and you hope that it stops. And you pray.
This video she shared with 13 News shows her walls riddled with bullet holes. She says many of the neighbors like herself have lived in this neighborhood for years. And it's sad to see their street become a crime scene, littered with dozens of evidence markers.
I'm not a military girl, but I am from the 46218.
She says her friend didn't deserve this.
He loves his family and his friends. He's 70 years old.
As they wait for more information about the suspect, these women are just grateful their loved one is still alive.
I'm just blessed that he's okay, and I'll just pray for the ones that didn't make it.
In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Now to Morgan County, where tonight a judge is deciding on bail for the 18-year-old charged with planning a mass shooting at Mooresville High School. 13 News was there today as deputies escorted Trinity Shockley into the Morgan County Courthouse. She's facing counts of conspiracy to commit murder and intimidation with a threat to commit terrorism. Her only words in court today: confirming her identity to the judge. Now, prosecutors presented evidence that Shockley had photos of mass shooters in a collage in her bedroom. And they say Shockley wrote about a Parkland Part 2. referring to the attack at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida on Valentine's Day 2018. Prosecutors argued Trinity Shockley is a threat to the community, so they're pushing for a $500,000 surety bond plus a $250,000 cash bond.
And then if she is able to post bond, we ask for additional conditions regarding having her on home detention with GPS monitoring and mental health treatment.
Shockley's public defender, meanwhile, says the evidence is, quote, all words, and that no weapon was found on Shockley. The defense asked for a standard bond as low as $2,000 cash. Metro Police tonight searching for the driver in a deadly hit and run that happened right downtown. This was just before 8 a.m. at Michigan and Illinois streets. Police say a woman was crossing the street there when she was hit and killed. Co-workers say she was an employee at a nearby office building and she was headed to work at the time. Investigators tell us several people saw this crash happen, and that could be key to finding the person who was behind the wheel and took off.
Our detectives rely heavily on what witnesses have seen and the information that they can gather. And if you are involved in something like this, you need to remain at the scene. It's just not worth fleeing and hoping that you're going to get away with it, because our detectives will find you and we will hold you accountable for your actions.
So we're working to learn more about the car that was involved in this crash. At the time, police didn't give a description. If you have information that could help, call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. This incident, by the way, is the third pedestrian killed in Indianapolis already this year. Tonight, leaders in Noblesville are considering a brand new housing development, and this is a big one. It could bring thousands of new homes to the city. The Noblesville Area Planning Commission just gave unanimous support for the project. It's called Gatewood Lakes, and it would be built in Noblesville. The development is expected to go before the full city council next week. The mayor tells us this will be the biggest residential project in the history of Noblesville. It would go up between 146th and 156th. More than 1,000 acres of living space, retail space, and green space. We talked to one of the developers tonight, and she acknowledges this project will be a big change. She says the team wants to make sure it's one the community can get behind.
I think at the heart of it, it's just knowing that there are a lot of memories, and you're there to, to build on that, right? You're there to build on the legacy of those that were there before, and to really, not forget that, but to really enhance it.
Mayor Chris Jensen says this is years in the making and will take years to build, possibly 7 to 10. Of course, we'll keep you posted on the progress. Here's a quick look at other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, a judge is denying a motion by Richard Allen's defense team to re-examine his conviction in the Delphi murders case. In a filing last month, the defense detailed 4 supposed errors they said could overturn the guilty verdict. Allen was sentenced to 130 years in prison back in December. Abby Williams and Libby German were killed in February of 2017, 8 years ago this month. We just learned the name of a woman found dead in a neighborhood on the north side of Indianapolis. Officers found 24-year-old Teresha Gray inside a home near 16th and Central Sunday night. Now we're working to learn how she died. Police say she did have signs of trauma. Tonight, a 72-year-old is dead after a house fire in Anderson. Crews got the call just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. They found Lacey Sawyer Sr. inside the home on Thayer Court near Rabel and Nicole Avenues. Firefighters tell our partners at the Herald Bulletin that Sawyer's grandson was also in the house at the time, but he was able to escape. He was treated for smoke inhalation and burns. Now, the Madison County Coroner's Office will determine how the person died. The Indiana National Guard has new leadership in place. Members held a change of command ceremony at the Indiana War Memorial today. Outgoing leader Major General R. Dale Lyles passed the state flag to Brigadier General Larry Munich. The governor appointed Munich last month. The head of the U.S. Postal Service is stepping down. Louis DeJoy is asking the USPS governing board to find his successor. The agency did not say when he plans to leave the job. His decision, though, comes as Indiana lawmakers push for DeJoy for answers about delays at the USPS hub here in Indianapolis. Just last week, we got this video of the backlog at the facility showing packages piling up. It is a story we've covered extensively, and you can see all of our reporting about the complaints, the concerns, right now at WTHR.com and on our 13 News app.